Hey everyone, and welcome to another edition of CTS Biz Talk. I'm the usual host, Frank Stevens. And to spruce things up in the beautiful month of June, I've got some people along. I brought some guests. So, hey everyone, welcome. And thank you.
Hello.
Hey,
Frank.
good to be here.
Yeah, thank you. So this is part of the CTS team. We recently did a very cool and exciting project where we moved from one data center to another. Historically, we have been there, I think, over a decade. So moving data centers is not a fun and exciting thing. There's always a reason to be moving. It's either quality or cost or whatever it may be. Ours was a blend of various reasons. But I wanted to bring these guys on board. This is not an easy thing. We're hosting probably 40 to 50 websites. We host a bunch of dedicated servers for people, from Power BI to CRM systems, point of sale systems, tons of cool stuff. So I'm going to pass it over to these guys. These are the brains behind the whole operation after I signed the agreement several months ago. And yeah, let's talk about how we did the planning. What are the things that we need to be aware of, and all the good stuff. So you guys take it away.
Yeah, I think one thing that you mentioned already right off the bat is slightly different than what happens in our MSP space. We had some time to plan for this project. I want to say this has been like at least 6 months in the works.
Yep.
We were given notice that there were some changes going on at our previous data center. Weren't too happy with that, and we were able to reach out to a few of our partners, to some of our strategic partners, to put us in contact with other data centers in the Chicagoland area. So we started off by interviewing those guys, seeing what they're able to provide us, and ultimately it was better service, cheaper service, and at the end of the day, it helps us serve our clients better. But giving that 6-month time frame to plan for the project, talk about it, work out any kinks, order equipment, stuff like that, that was a huge help for us.
Yeah, if I recall correctly, the reason we did the delay is we had to wait for our contract essentially to be up. But if you are talking about going to a new data center, and it's for everyone out there, you can kind of push some leverage, right? And so even though we signed in January, technically we got 6 months free for that move-in process. And before I forget, one of the benefits of our move is we're no longer in downtown Chicago, so parking is like plentiful now in the burbs. So that was a huge plus.
Yeah, big fan of having a place to park instead of street parking every time I have to go visit. So
yeah.
But yeah, the time to plan everything definitely was crucial. Having the time of, okay, we have until this day, but we have several months. Okay, so what do we need? What do we have? What do we need to bring over? What doesn't need to come over? Where's it all going? We had enough time to plan out the rack layout ahead of time, to move all of our equipment. We had enough time to order some test equipment and test the internet connection to make sure that everything was going to come up once we got there. We were able to do a lot of stuff ahead of time, make sure that everything would run smoothly, and it pretty much did. So
yeah, I think also a big thing was documentation, going through everything, making sure that everything's up to date. I think for the most part, because we did that and we knew what was there, what wasn't, there was a couple of stuff we could actually remove that was still in the old rack. I think we removed a couple old servers that no longer need to be there, so we got more space, more spots for client servers to be hosted in. I want to say we did a pretty damn good job touching up on the documentation for a whole data center.
So we actually utilized this time to do cleanup, update documentation, cleanse and purge all the old stuff. Did we take this opportunity to put any new hardware in or configuration changes? I think we ordered some PDU, some power stuff, and
yeah, we did get a PDU put in place that we can do some remote power cycling if we need to.
Nice.
We removed an old backup appliance that we're no longer paying contracts for. Some old hosts that we had already upgraded. I don't think there was anything new beyond that, though.
Okay. So what did we do to identify all the stuff that needed to happen between DNS changes and how many hands we needed to move the stuff? How did that whole process go?
I think
I
over
think
a few.
it's Simon, go ahead.
I'll start with a quick one. Multiple meetings. One thing that we're doing really well is communication on all fronts. We let the clients know that this is happening. Multiple emails went out to them. Only a handful of clients reached out to us about questions. We had awesome communication with our rep and the new data center. So we were able to make sure that we had proper access. But internally, when it comes to identifying what needs to be moved, who's in charge of what, who's testing what, that was done over the course of the 6 months of planning multiple meetings, documenting DNS entries, documenting development, servers, stuff like that. I don't know if you wanted to add anything there, Josh.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think it started with a physical visit to the data center, the old one, getting a fresh set of eyes and photos of what's there, what's not, just to actually have like a physical view and be able to point out, okay, this, and this are critical. These are old devices that aren't being used, and just having that to start that documentation process and identify. But then, yeah,
Nice.
just a lot of internal communication, a lot of meetings across months, several meetings, in the week leading up to and day of, just to make sure that everyone had everything they needed. It was supposed to. We got weather reports that it might rain that night, so we went out and got some plastic to cover things just in case. Thankfully, it didn't. It made it pretty easy for us. So, yeah, we were ready for pretty much everything we could come up with. So,
nice. Now, again, I signed that contract 12 years ago. So people are not moving data centers often. There has to be a really good reason to like changing MSPs or bankers and accountants. Once everything is in there, like from a length of terms, like how often are we physically going to the data center and making physical changes to anything or anything like that?
I
want to say it's like every few years, right?
Infrequently.
Yeah.
Should be rare.
Aside from if we're adding a new device because we're going to start hosting something new, we upgraded the network and we upgraded our virtual hosts. So those were 2 visits within the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Unless there's a problem, or if we're adding or removing equipment, depending on if we're hosting or removing a hosting item, we don't really have to visit all too often.
Yeah. So for those who are out there looking at a co-location or hosting your own data center, talk about what Smart Hands is and why there's that benefit.
Josh, you want to speak on that since you've actually engaged these guys sometimes?
Yeah. So the remote hands that we have, if you just need something power cycled, or just hey, this thing isn't reporting on this port isn't reporting activity, instead of me having to get in the car and drive out 40 minutes just to push a power button, or check and see if there's activity lights on a switch port, the remote hands can be contacted, and they'll go and check on your rack because they know which rack you're in, and they'll check on these small things and push that power button for you, so that you don't have to make that trip out there yourself.
Nice.
They won't completely reformat your server or do stuff like that for you, but they're capable of doing small tasks.
Nice. what else did we, or were there any things that we kind of missed or unexpected that other people should be aware of going down the road if they're going to be making a big move like this?
Go ahead, Caesar.
I was gonna say, I think one was a service that for sending out emails. I believe one of the clients we missed that. It's one of those things where like you set it and you forget it and it just works.
Yes.
So there's definitely those little things where you have to really think about like, okay, did we set up something that years ago that needs to contact the data center, whatnot. And you need to update those IP addresses to the new one. So it's those little things where you might forget because it's like, all right, we don't touch it every day, but you may easily miss it and then come the next day or, Monday if you're doing it on Friday, like we did. People are like, all right, what's going on? This isn't working.
Got it. Okay. Anything
Yeah.
else? Otherwise,
yeah,
I think it went smooth, right?
Pretty much, yeah. Just anything that's pointed at the external IP addresses needs to get updated. And yeah, there's, I mean, obviously DNS records for websites and stuff like that, but there's some other small things that might need to be updated or whitelisted. Are the biggest things to try and keep in the back of your mind of, hey, we're moving, this is changing, this needs to be updated too.
Yeah, I mean, all of our site-to-sites, all those things, I mean, went pretty smooth. Nothing really to do with that. So that's kind of nice. So if someone's got an old IPsec tunnel site-to-site, they have to update those.
Yeah,
That's
and
not the case for us. So
I will take an opportunity here to plug Unify once again. We've been pushing a lot of clients to move to Unify. We have it in our data center. All of the clients that have the Unify equipment that we've recommended, it uses a system called SiteMagic. We did not have to update those tunnels to point to the new one. Unify automatically updated the tunnels in the back end for us, and sites came back up pretty quick.
It's amazing.
So it's a great technology, and I love it.
Nice. Awesome. All right. Any other things you want to share with the people out there if they're thinking about moving to a different data center or get one scoped out? Any of the things like when we were talking to them about the contracts, specs, speeds? I mean, everything was pretty standard, I would think. Correct?
I think it maybe standard, but I mean better than we were getting.
Yeah.
So we got an improved circuit for a cheaper cost. So contact us for referral codes. But yeah,
absolutely.
Looking forward to working with the current the data center we moved to. So
heck yeah. Yeah, the one surprise for me is 12 years ago or whenever it was when we lit it up, they're just like, how many IP addresses do you want? I'm like, I don't know, 4 million, whatever. And they were just giving them out. So I think with, after a decade, these guys were like, hey, and what kind of a block did we get?
We got a /26, so we got 64
/26.
addresses.
Yep, and there was some pushback with them, like, hey, why do you need all these addresses? Which I get. So that was kind of a little different for me. Again, it was over a decade ago, so a lot has changed, and people are running IP4 IP addresses. So cool. Awesome, guys. Well, I appreciate you guys sharing the experience and what it looked like over the last 5 to 6 months. Knock on wood, things are awesome. We did a great job, and kudos to you guys. Downtime was minimal. I think our downtime was like from 9:30 p.m. till about 2 a.m. So no impact to the clients really, and the communications were awesome, and clients will always appreciate that. So nicely done, guys.
Pat on the back.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed our recent podcast. If you got any knowledge nuggets, hopefully you did. If you did enjoy it, please like, subscribe, and share. Special shout out to Blage, who keeps reminding me to do that at the end of every podcast. So take care, everyone. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.
Bye.